Hi everyone, thanks for joining. For those of you who I haven't met over the course of the summer, my name's Erika Helps and I'm the Debt Commissioning Lead here at MaPS. I'm really pleased to be able to share with you today our intended approach to geography and lotting for community-based debt advice, which has been determined following full analysis of all the insight we've gathered to date. As we explained during our previous market engagement, we're sharing this as early as we can, and this means that it is still subject to final governance approvals. That's something you'll see referenced throughout this slide deck. So let's begin with a summary of our development timeline, taking us through how we've reached our conclusions on geography and lotting. So in late 2024, we developed an initial approach recommending 9 regional lots with an option for a further rural lot. Between December 2024 and February 25, we engaged with interested stakeholders through a series of market engagement webinars and feedback surveys. From March to June of this year, we iterated our approach based on that early feedback, considering regions, sub-regions, financial viability, local insight and structural overlays. Between July and September 25, we undertook further market engagement, including a detailed information pack which was issued, 2 webinars, 9 regional events held throughout England and followed by another feedback survey. We've since analysed all that feedback and financial data for the various options that were proposed. Last week, our first stage internal MaPS governance took place. It was agreed that we should share this intended approach with all interested parties so that we can allow maximum time for partnership development. We need to emphasise again that this geography and lotting approach is shared with the caveat that we have a multi-layered governance process to follow due to the value of this funding, and there is still a possibility that this approach could be subject to change. In the event that this happened, we would communicate this as early as possible, making sure that we built in time for adaptations. Finally, it was agreed that this pack should be distributed to stakeholders and uploaded to the new MaPS community-based debt advice microsite, which was launched last week. The microsite hosts recordings of all previous webinars, resources we've shared, such as the information pack, and details of upcoming events, along with the links for event registration. We'll be adding more to this site as we approach the beginning of the grant application process, and we'll continue to send emails to all those who've registered an interest, as well as publicising through our MaPS social channels. So after analysing the feedback from the market engagement and conducting further financial analysis, we've concluded that 15 lots spread over 2 application rounds is our intended way forward. This means that all grants will be financially viable, each above £1 million per annum, with clearly defined geographic boundaries. There'll be a mix of larger and smaller grants in each round, and whilst the timelines may not be preferred by everybody, we've been able to accommodate majority requests in terms of timelines. So the first grant application processes will open in spring 2026 for East Midlands, Yorkshire and Humber, North West and West Midlands. This will be followed by a second round of applications, which will open in spring 2027 for London, North East, East of England, South West and the South East. Eligibility criteria are still being finalised, but we plan to share these ahead of a very simple expression of interest process before the end of the calendar year, so people can let us know if they're looking to come forward as potential lead organisations. Organisations will still be able to come forward later or to withdraw that expression of interest at any point, but it will help us to shape our regional market development approach if we understand how many potential lead organisations there are in each area, so as to help build those connections between potential leads and sub-grantees. If you have any early inquiries related to market development, please do contact commercial@maps.org.uk. So this slide shows a breakdown of the proposed lots per region. This will be subject to that final governance process. So round one, as we said, includes East Midlands. That's one lot at 3.7 million. Yorkshire and Humber, 3 lots at 1.9, 1.5 and 1.5 million. The North West at 3 lots, 2 million, 2.8 million and 1.4 million. And West Midlands, 2 lots at 2.3 and 2 million. Round 2 covers London, 1 lot at 5.7 million. The North East, a single lot at 3.3 million. East of England, also a single lot at 1.9 million. The South West, 2.4 million. And the South East, 2 lots at 1.5 million and 1.3 million. The sub-regional breakdowns are also set out on this slide for Yorkshire and Humber, the North West, West Midlands and South East. The approach we're setting out here ensures that there is financial viability and coherent geographic boundaries, which should allow you to begin planning. So the market insight helped shape our approach, with some providers telling us that they are ready for a summer 2026 application process, whilst others preferred more time for the planning and being involved in a second round. We've tried to reflect local preferences and balance overall capacity. Regions have asked for support in identifying and networking with potential partners, and we're working through how best to provide this. This will include the feedback that we received through the expression of interest process. Bid exclusivity was also a concern. We're committed to avoid people being locked in with single lead organisations, and will reflect how best to ensure that this is carried through the grant competition and assessment process. Delivery model preferences varied, particularly amongst smaller organisations and current partners who feel disconnected from their lead organisation. We're reflecting on the various models and the feedback we've received and are considering how to ensure meaningful collaboration is prioritised throughout the life cycle of the grants, from the application process through to delivery, without creating undue burden. We'll share more on this when we can. So finally, I just wanted to say thank you again for all the collaboration and engagement so far. It's been genuinely appreciated by me and all other colleagues here at MaPS. If you have any immediate questions or want to discuss partnership opportunities, please do contact commercial@maps.org.uk. A reminder too that registrations are open now for the deep dive sessions in November and December, and we'll be in contact again regarding revised eligibility criteria and the expression of interest process before the end of the calendar year. We look forward to continuing to work together to ensure effective and sustainable community-based debt advice provision. Thank you.